next up we have Barton Gold, ASX code BGD, an Australian gold developer targeting future production of 150,000 ounces per annum with approximately 2.25 million ounces in JORC Mineral Resources and 100% ownership of the only regional gold mill in South Australia's Central Gawler Craton. Joining me today is Alexander Scanlon, Managing Director and CEO. Alexander, thanks for joining me.
Yeah, so I'm Alex Scanlon. I'm the CEO of Barton Gold. Look, in terms of very high level, had a good introduction there. Who are we? What are we doing? We are a pure play precious metals in South Australia developers. So we have consolidated every significant historical exploration and producing precious metals asset in the Central Gawler Craton, which is the home, of course, of Olympic Dam and what BHP has now consolidated as their IOCG or copper belt. We saw an opportunity to acquire all of this ground in terms of these projects and the only gold mill in the region at a time when nobody was really paying attention, and step back and build up a much larger platform. So we've done that, and really 2025, the year past, was for us the conclusion of our first 5-year act as a public company. That was getting these assets, stabilizing them, and investing to grow them from about 0.6 million ounces up to now about 2.25 million ounces of gold. We have some byproduct of silver. In parallel, we have also just now done our first acquisition or M&A deal as a public company. We've acquired the Tunkillia Project. So we now essentially own the 4 main historical assets in the whole precious metals belt there. And we've also, while looking for gold, made one of the highest grade silver discoveries in the world for 2025. So it's been a very interesting first 5 years, and we're now essentially moving forward to our second 5-year act as a public company. In terms of the platform on which we stand, we're about a $260 million company. We've got about $17 million in cash. We have a corporate structure which is highly owned by board, management, and institutional investors. Somewhere around 55 to 60% is board, management, institutions. So board and management are the largest shareholders in this company. So we have a very strong alignment with the shareholders. And what we've seen is this consolidation of our register into the hands of institutional shareholders as we have continued to make progress, doing what we said we would do, but doing it faster, better, and cheaper. So this has seen us perform very well over the past 12 months, but we're still relatively underpriced to many of the names that you'll see in the gold industry here in Western Australia. So we kind of have Astral's Mandilla project, but we also have an existing mill, brownfield mines, and a really high-grade silver discovery for a bit of comparison there. Our development strategy is based on having a solid platform that we can develop as a 2-stage hub-and-spoke model, first leveraging that existing infrastructure and having really good people. So we've built a team of very dedicated South Australian professionals with a long background not only in South Australia, but also in precious metals. So about half of our leadership team are formerly of Normandy and Newmont. So really have formed building literally one of the largest gold companies in the world. Our strategy is to focus on concentrating our strengths in South Australia. What we're looking at doing is essentially leveraging that existing infrastructure into a staged, lower cost and lower risk development of the assets. We're looking at starting up a stage 1 operation, leveraging that Central Gawler Mill, getting that platform running, generating the optionality to then advance higher grade mineralization from our historical higher grade underground mine, as well as high grade material from the Tunkillia Goldfield, high grade material or a concentrate from our Tunkillia Project. And in parallel, then we're looking at extending into and developing our Tunkillia asset, our stage 2 asset. So stage 1 is looking at a combination of reprocessing historical higher grade tailings, open pit and underground mineralization through that existing plant. Stage 2 is the development of an entirely new project, and this is a large-scale bulk open pit, bulk processing model. So Tunkillia is an asset that we bought as a 600,000 ounce asset. We believed it had been underexplored. We invested in it. We found 5 new gold zones, and we scaled that to 1.6 million ounces. We've done that for less than $20 per ounce, and that's a true all-in cost basis. So we've been very, very capital efficient with that. That project is interesting because, one, it operates at scale, and we published what we called an optimized scoping study last year. And it demonstrates that this project really does function well with both the capital and operating economies of scale. In terms of production, it's targeted to produce an average of about 120,000 ounces of silver, 120,000 ounces of gold, 250,000 ounces per annum of silver. It's about a $400 million capital development cost, including pre-strip. But one of the things that's really interesting about this project is the concentration of cash flows you get at the front end of the project. So the project at a 5,000 Australian dollar gold price is modeled to produce about $2.3 billion in operating free cash. The first 12 months is $850 million at $5,000 gold. Across the first sort of two stages of that project, you produce around 365,000 ounces of gold in the first 2.5 years. At current gold prices, you produce about $2 billion in operating profit. So you pay back your development costs 5 times over. So this project has a very interesting sort of geometry of its geology. And what we're doing now is essentially accelerating that project through its development pathways as well. So in terms of where we're going from here, this being our platform, we are running a DFS on the Challenger project to look at what does it cost to refurbish that mill, what are the options for processing higher grade historical tailings, how do we look at taking some easily accessible open pit mineralization and putting this together to create a model where we can turn on that mill and create the optionality to bring forward higher grade material. In parallel, we are taking our Tunkillia project through resource upgrade drilling. We've just done about 20,000 meters of drilling there. We'll do another 30,000 meters of drilling, 30 to 35,000 meters of drilling between now and June, looking to complete a pre-feasibility study and submit our mining lease application also by the end of 2026. So 2026 is really about commercialization for us. It's about entering that next 5-year act as a company. What does that mean in terms of what we have coming up in news flow? Well, we will be drilling about 60,000 meters of drilling between today and June across all of our projects. This will include some additional drilling at our Tolmer discovery. I haven't focused too much on that. It was the highest grade silver intersection on all markets in 2025. We had a discovery hole of 6 meters at 4,700 grams silver plus 13 grams of gold inside that. So that's a very exciting sort of discovery opportunity, and we'll look to see if we can actually confirm continuity in that mineralization. But if we think about what's coming up, this is really about converting from pre-operations into operations. Very interesting things happen when you cross that threshold. We have the platform, the people, and the progress to do it. And if we think about the news flow that will be coming, well, I've sort of tried to map out what kind of news flow we might expect. And with the multiple studies we have underway, drilling programs across 3 projects, we look to have more than 40 material price sensitive announcements during the course of 2026. So it kind of gives you a sense of just how busy we are every single day working to build value in the ground for you guys so that we can then unlock it. And as I said, we are the largest shareholders, so we are very, very strongly aligned with delivering value to you guys. I think with that, I can probably give some time back, but thank you all very much for your attention.